Lady Battle Cop. Hey, that's right, folks. We're talking an off-brand Robocop today, which is pretty exciting. I love the Robocop genre, and I call this an off-brand one. It is just, a classic Japanese tale of putting somebody in a suit and having them fight some random characters, and you just put it out there for the world to see. This is awesome. Oh man, is this awesome. I love this. It's another one of the movies we're talking about where just randomly one day I'm scrolling on X or whatever you call it these days, and I see a picture from a movie I've never seen before or a clip, and I'm like, this looks awesome. And Lady Battle Cop was one of those. And guess what? This movie is on one of my favorite services out there, the Internet Archive, and you can just go watch it there. And it's pretty damn epic. It is extremely stylized, extremely low budget in the best kind of way. It has so much fun going for it. It does feel like the parody. And this is the thing of like the Japanese films and all that stuff. We've talked about a few of them now. There is just like the perfect blend of maturity and drama with the stakes and just like the kitschy nature of like the story we're telling and the actions we're doing. And Lady Battle Cop is no exception to that. It might lean a little more heavily into like the anime inspired, we're having fun with like the tongue-in-cheek nature of this because it's got a couple of staples of just like random stuff you're not taking too seriously. For instance, the American dialogue, or the English dialogue, I guess I should say, it's more American dialogue because it's insane. It's people swearing in English who barely speak English. You have one character who only speaks English, who is the only black character in the movie, and his dialogue is insane. And it's kind of fun just to see that happen. I love when these types of movies have like an American character or an English character and everyone else is just speaking in their native language, and that character is just saying nonsense. And that's what this is doing. This also has some insane camera movements, and we play the theme song for the lead character every time they do something badass. It's so much fun, and it is so compelling. So this, I find it so interesting, because it's clearly like the thing with Robocop. It's like a dystopic future. It's called Neo Tokyo, and a cartel has taken things over. Like 4 people who work for this guy. His name is Henry Oba. There's 4 people called the Phantom and his elite soldiers, and they work for this guy, and they just run the mob. It's also very like 90s Ninja Turtles in that aspect, where like the Foot Clan's here. We're going to watch like reporters talk about it, but no one's going to do anything about it until the Turtles show up. And that's what this is too. So this is kind of like opening up. We see these people, Phantom and his elite soldiers, they kill people. That a news broadcast is like, well, we can't stop the cartel. They've kind of taken over everything. In other news, guess who's coming home? Well, it's a gold medalist named Kiru or Koyu. It's a gold medalist named Koyu, and she's coming home to hang out with her buddies. Our main character shows up. She's a tennis player, which is kind of badass to see, and she comes home with like 2 of her friends. She's dating the one guy who's like a robotic scientist. The other guy's a policeman. They're just hanging out on the water, just having fun as friends do, just talking about like the research that their one buddy's up to, working at like the science lab and what's going on there. It's so obvious. And he takes Koiru to his lab one day, and that's when you see that Phantom and his people attack, and it's a bloodbath, and they kill everybody, and they blow up the building, and it's just great looking visual effects with great looking camera movements and insane blood quibs, and everything is just awesome and looks insane. Everyone's throwing knives and just doing the most random shit possible. Nobody is falling or dying in a normal way. Everyone is losing their minds, and it's just the greatest thing in the world. And they destroy this lab, and they destroy the people in there. So Koiru and her, like, I believe this one's her lover. Yeah, it's this guy. They sneak away into some secret lab that he was working on because he was developing the robot policeman. And that's when we have Saiju, who is the other main character, or Sayo. Is it Sayo? Look, it's a mess because I didn't watch the best quality version of this movie. The subtitles said Sayo and Saijo, so I'm going to go Sayo because I think you could pronounce the J that way. He is like the only policeman in Neo Tokyo who's not corrupt. There's like a retired guy who's like, hey, I wasn't on the take. The cartel didn't own me, buddy, but my hand's shaky, so you're going to have to kill them all. There is like an extended sequence that's like 4 minutes long of Sayo in this like bar where he's threatening the bartender, saying the bartender's on the take, and then like a hooker comes up to talk to him and he's like, you're on the take, you give discounted to cartel cops. And she's like, what are you talking about? And it's all done in one take, in one shot. And everyone's just watching this guy have a breakdown. Everyone's on the take except for him. He meets this retired cop who's like, you got to do it, man. And then he just becomes a threat. And then the bartender we know is on the take, and he calls Oba and's like, we got a problem. It's awesome. So then Sayo goes like to like, I don't know, like a homeless encampment or something. He's just walking down a street where there's a bunch of like people, just like rough looking people who are probably like put out by Oba and everything he's doing. He's attacked by Phantom and his people, and that's when we get our introduction to Lady Battle Cop. And the introduction, straight up the introduction, Robocop, looks incredible. This suit is breathtaking. It is so interesting to look at. I love every one of the small details, the different colors that we're using. The earring, which can turn into a weapon. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And the heels. Man, I love that we built a robot that's got hips and curves. Like, why did we do that? It doesn't matter. We know that it's Koiru, and it's pretty fun to see her just kick ass and take names. But also, when she was like attacked earlier, she was stabbed and hurt multiple times, but she also didn't die. Like the explosion like didn't mess up her body, so she's still capable of doing stuff. Because we see in a flashback that she becomes the experiment for like the police robot. She can take off the suit. It's not like she's trapped in the suit like Murphy was in Robocop. She can take it off and like have a sexy shower where we see like cybernetics enhanced to her body. I'm like, that's kind of cool. I really dig that. She's got a good set of lips on that girl, because that's what you need to do when you do this type of movie. With Robocop, you have to have the nice big lips just to see this guy emote in that fashion. She's a little more stiff than Robocop, which I do appreciate. And then the rest of the movie, this 80-minute movie, is just following Lady Battle Cop kill a bunch of people. And I can't be mad about that, because we kill a bunch of stupid assholes in some really cool ways. And you just love to see it. We also get another villain in this piece. His name is Amadeus, and he's like the big bad, like the brute that you have to fight, because we can kill the other guys pretty easily. And she takes out like most of Phantom and his crew in like one moment. She blows up one guy earlier and then takes out like the three of them when they come to attack her base. But then we have Amadeus. Amadeus is psychic? Is that what it is? Because he could control things with his mind. When I first was watching them, I'm like, oh, is he like Flex Mentallo, and when he flexes his muscles, he can make stuff move? Because he flexes a lot. Like, his introduction is a naked man flexing in the rain, and he like moves buildings and shit. It's crazy. So then he's going to be like the recurring brute for them to fight, and it's awesome. It looks great, and we film it in the daytime as well. This is like the Super Sentai Power Rangers, you know, just like the Kamen Rider stuff, which is definitely also an influence for this thing. You just have the suit. You're gonna need to use it, which is something like American movies try to hide. It's just like the suit. But this is our character. The movie's called Lady Battle Cop. We have to see the suit. We have to see what she's gonna do and move in it. And it looks very movable. Like, she can move pretty well. She can get on a motorcycle and actually drive the motorcycle. So that's very impressive. I respect it so much. And it just looks great. I love the way this looks. Is there a toy of this? I think I need to find one, if there is, because, man, it is just the coolest thing in the world. And it just turns into her taking down the whole cartel. Koiru is going to take down the whole cartel. Sayo is going to try to help her, but he kind of gets kidnapped, so she has to rescue him. And then it turns into like a big slap fight in the end where everyone's beating up everybody. This is the thing I've been saying for a while. And I've definitely been saying it when we look at like some older movies like this. Like, we just talked about like the green slime recently, and we look at other stuff in like this genre. We don't make movies like this anymore. We don't have like these specific zoom movements. We don't have this specific energy to it. Just the blocking and the framing of so many things in focus and out of focus. There's like a beautiful shot. I don't know why I love it so much, where we just see like Sayo's hand in frame, and then it pulls back to see what he's looking at. I'm like, that is just really cool and unique, and I don't know why it just works so well for me. but it was just so interesting. And everything is just cooler technological wise when we don't have just like Apple computers and iPads everywhere. When it's just like a big hunky computer with the thickest keyboards you ever saw, and people have to type on that to do their shit. So the cartel, they're bringing guns through everything. Lady Battle Cop stops them, and then everyone else dies because she does kill. Originally we think she kills Amadeus by stabbing him with a big wrench. She doesn't, and he survives. And they have like an even bigger fight where she electrocutes him, and then he dies. But he also kills Sayo. So Sayo gets killed trying to save it, and he gets some good licks in. But half of like that fight is just watching Lady Battle Cop shoot people with an unlimited ammo gun. That's kind of cool. So that fight's going to end with her actually going to go take down Oba, because when Henry Oba is killed, the cartel's over. So when she breaks into the office to go kill him, it's kind of like the opposite of what Robocop did, where Robocop throws the guy out the window. He killed himself. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. He killed himself, and he killed like his assistant that was in there too. So Oba just like, I'm not going down by Lady Battle Cop. I'm going down this way. And it's crazy. And then cue the anime ending where we have the character walking towards the screen. We play their theme song, and then the credits roll. And I'm like, yeah, man, this is the stuff. This is the stuff. Extended sequences of this costume walking around. Extended sequences of like these people on a boat just talking about how cool the world is. Just like, we don't need the backstory. We can get it all together. She was a tennis player who was attacked, and her boyfriend turned her into a machine. It's that easy. And it's not as like graphic and gruesome as the stuff that happens in a Verhoeven movie. It's just a little nicer and cleaner. And man, is it just really cool to see that. What a really cool movie. Just an incredibly fun time. With a great score that is so 90s. Everything about this just invokes the right stuff I like. Ninja Turtles, Robocop, badass ladies. Man, is Lady Battle Cop joining the lexicon of some of my favorite badass ladies out there. I love to see it. I love her. I love everything this movie set up and was talking about. So much fun. The perfect kind of knockoff to a Robocop. And it can stand on its own. If you've never heard of that, it stands on its own. But I know you have, because you're watching this. And man, is it entertaining as hell. Just this type of Japanese movie. It's so unique and fun, and we don't make them like this anymore. I've been saying that so much lately, but it's true. We just don't make things like this anymore. And it's incredible. So that is going to do it for this episode of Dynamic Tales. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Believe my life. Good luck. That's part of the song in the movie. Okay.